Hey there, YouTube. It's me, Broken Terrain, and I've been painting minis. I can't wait to show them off to you. Take a look at my Orc Warband right after the drop. Our first bit of footage here is me finishing up the paint for 3 orc snipers, those orky fellas with the bows, and 1 orc man with a double-handed greatsword. And then you can see my daughter painting directly to the left of me. We had a great time painting minis together, and fingers crossed, YouTube, that it wasn't a one-time thing. I would love to continue to paint minis with both my daughters, my son, and oh man, do you think I could get the missus in there? Do you think Mrs. Terrain would paint minis with me? I don't know, but a man can dream, right? I had a blast painting minis with her. She even propped her phone up and put on a YouTube personality she really likes. It wasn't me, I know, but that's okay. But she put a YouTube personality on. I think the fella reviewed movies. It was very fun and funny, and it was great to sit and paint and watch someone that she likes on YouTube and just enjoy each other's company. I highly recommend trying to share your hobbies with your family members. It makes for a wonderful time, and several hours passed while we just sat and painted and talked. YouTube, it was wonderful. A dream come true. Now that the minis have all been painted, it's time to base them. And YouTube, you know, I love to use my fender washers, and so that's what I turned to. These orky boys were a little too large for a standard 1-inch washer. No matter how hard I tried to finagle them on, it just wasn't going to work. So I turned to a bigger 1 1/4 washer and based them thusly. Here you can see that fellow with the great sword. I think I'm going to make him the orc chief, or perhaps just the consort for my orc shaman. But his sculpt and design was thus that the sword was so heavy it was throwing him off balance. I actually didn't care for it too much, and I wanted a special base for him, the shaman as well. I end up getting a piece or two of cork and carving it up a little bit to look like stone. This fellow with the greatsword, I want him stepping down while he's swinging. That's the intention for his base. So with a little super glue and some super glue accelerant, I get these bases put together pretty quick. Here you can see my shaman. I love this figure. This is probably my best, most accomplished paint job to date. Trim her base off. I'm going to glue her to the cork and then glue the cork to the washer, so she's standing upon a piece of stonework getting ready to cast her magics. Fantastic. And then a lot of this is just a rinse and repeat of what I usually do for terrain. On the bare areas of the washer, I'm going to give it a white PVA glue, and then I'm going to sprinkle my craft sand on. Nothing new, crazy, or out of the box. For the standard figs, not the greatsword wielding chieftain and the shaman caster, I'm going to spread the sand and glue along the non-based areas of the washer. Here's a picture of everything completed with the flock of sand. I'm going to go back over with that black magic craft base coat You probably don't need the black in it for this, but you know, I've already got it pre-mixed. So I'm going to lock that sand in place with the Mod Podge mixed with black acrylic paint. Once that dries, I'm going to go back over all the land mass or dirt or gravel areas with Mississippi mud. So everything but the pieces of cork from the shaman and chieftain figurines. Oh, this is a new camera angle. I call it angle, but it moves about with my head because I've got this head strap camera mount thing to my head, and I thought this might be a very interesting way to capture me crafting and painting. What do you think? I know I'm not particularly centered in frame at the moment, but this was the first time I broke the headpiece out. So let me know what you think in the comments. Yes to more, we'll call this the POV cam, point of view cam. Yes to more point of view, maybe. I'm working on a really big project, and there were a few instances where I just wasn't sure how I was gonna film them if it wasn't point of view. I've gotten the figure bases all painted. That cork I did in an elephant gray. Then I'm going to go back in with my granite gray, dry brush the stone. Looks like more of that POV cam. What do you think, YouTube? You like that POV cam? Should I keep it up? Like, comment, subscribe, share the video. In the comments would be a great spot to tell me what you think of this POV cam. Let me know. Once the paint dries, I go back in with the white PVA glue. And this time, instead of flocking with the green that I usually do, I am going to turn to my homemade flocking. I made it by cutting hemp rope into very, very small little fragments and pieces so that when they're shook out, they give the appearance of a dried grass. Not as professional as an actual static grass applicator that is on the Christmas wish list, hint, hint. But it does work fairly well, considering I cut it from hemp rope and stuck it in an old spice container. Not bad. And I'm just going to go back in, just a little pointer pick type tool, and I'm going to try and stand the grass up where I feel it should be standing up. Around their foot, I spread the grass down as though their foot had stamped down into the turf. And then around the edges, try to fluff the grass to make it stand up and so that it doesn't stick over past the base. You can see I'm putting the finishing touches on some flock for my shaman, the leader of my Orc Warband. And I've been pretty happy with this new homemade flock. Once the figures have all been flopped, I wait for the glue to dry, and then I go back over them with a sealing spray. And then they're ready for the table, and I'll show them off with a couple glamour shots. Looking good. So easy. Man, if you're thinking about jumping into mini painting, I highly recommend it. A great way to spend some time and create something really cool, and have fun with those colors and go crazy. Anyway, thank you for tuning in and watching this video. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Like, comment, subscribe, share the video, and I'll see you next time, YouTube. Thank you.